Hey everyone, welcome! Today we're diving headfirst into Yellowstone National Park. It's this incredible place where raw volcanic power meets thriving wildlife. We're going to explore the amazing science that makes Yellowstone tick and, importantly, give you the lowdown on how to plan your own trip to see it all safely and smartly. Wow, right? Just take a look at this. Grand Prismatic Spring. It gives you a taste of the almost otherworldly beauty you'll find in Yellowstone. You know, this place was set aside way back in 1872, making it the world's first national park. And the main reason? These mind-blowing geological wonders. It's literally a landscape bubbling with energy. Okay, here's how we'll break it down. First, Yellowstone as a land of wonders. Then, we'll peek at the fiery heart underneath it all. After that, the famous geysers, springs, and those wild colors. We'll see where the science happens right in front of you, and wrap up with how to explore Yellowstone smart and safe. All right, Section 1, Land of Wonders. We're talking about discovering a true geological marvel that's just bursting with life. You know, people have been connected to this land for a long time, over 11,000 years of Native American presence. Then came 1872, a huge moment when it became the first national park. Management has changed hands over the years. The U.S. Army ran it for a while, cars were allowed in 1915, then the National Park Service took over in 1916. And ecologically, big things happened too, like bringing wolves back in 1995. It's a place with deep roots and it's always evolving. Moving on to Section 2, the fiery heart below. Let's dig into what's really driving all this activity. The massive volcanic system, the supervolcano deep beneath the surface. So a huge part of Yellowstone actually sits inside this giant feature called the Yellowstone caldera. Imagine a massive depression in the ground, roughly 30 by 45 miles across. It's what's left from an absolutely enormous volcanic eruption about 640,000 years ago. But here's the kicker, the gigantic magma chamber underneath. It's not dormant. It's still very much active today. And because that pool of molten rock, that magma, is relatively close to the surface compared to other places on Earth, its heat has a much bigger impact up here. That closeness is what makes Yellowstone one of the most geologically active, dynamic spots on the planet. It's the engine driving pretty much everything spectacular you see. The geysers, the hot springs, the whole shebang. Which brings us nicely to Section 3, geysers, springs, and those wild colors. This is where that intense underground heat meets water, creating Yellowstone's signature hydrothermal features. Get ready for this number. Yellowstone has more than 10,000 individual hydrothermal features. 10,000. That's the biggest concentration anywhere on Earth, by far. It's just incredible, isn't it? All packed into one park. So what exactly counts as a hydrothermal feature? Well, basically, it's anything you see on the surface that's caused by water heated deep underground. We're talking bubbling mud pots, those hissing steam vents called fumaroles, colorful hot springs, and yeah, the geysers. And the heat is intense. Take North Geyser Basin. It's the hottest and oldest thermal area, and they've measured temperatures down below hitting a scorching 459 degrees Fahrenheit. Whoa. Now, the real superstars for many visitors are the geysers. Think of them as hot springs with a special kind of underground plumbing system. Pressure builds up and then, whoosh, they erupt, launching water and steam high into the air. And Yellowstone? It's basically the world capital of geysers. It has over 500 active ones. That's more than half of all the known geysers on our planet, right here. And of course, there's the icon, Old Faithful. Now, it's not perfectly punctual like an old train schedule, but its eruptions are pretty darn reliable, predictable even. The Park Service actually posts estimated eruption times. Right now, it averages around 102 minutes between shows, give or take about 10 minutes. Definitely grab the NPS app or swing by a visitor center to get the latest prediction times when you're there. It really helps plan your day. Okay, shifting gears visually, look at Mammoth Hot Springs. These incredible terraces look almost like a flowing sculpture, right? They're different from what you see in the geyser basins. Instead of silica, these are made of travertine. That's calcium carbonate. Hot water bubbles up, deposits the mineral, and builds these layers over time. And here's something interesting. Mammoth is actually located outside the main Yellowstone caldera. The heat probably travels up through cracks or faults in the rock from that main magma system deeper down. Pretty cool. Ever look at those crazy bright colors in springs like Grand Prismatic and wonder, how is that even real? Well, the secret is tiny microbes. They're called thermophiles, which literally means heat-loving. These little guys, mostly types of ancient life called archaea and bacteria, are tough enough to live in incredibly hot, mineral-rich water. Different microbes like different temperatures and water chemistries, and they produce different colors. So they're essentially painting the landscape with life. Amazing. Section 4 is where we put it all together, where science comes alive. Let's link all this cool geology stuff to specific spots in the park you just have to see for yourself. If geysers are your jam, then the Upper Geyser Basin right around Old Faithful is your destination. Seriously, this relatively small area packs in the highest concentration of geysers anywhere on Earth. It's not just Old Faithful either. Keep an eye out for prediction times for other big ones like Grand Geyser and Riverside Geyser. Honestly, just walking the boardwalks here feels like you've landed on another planet. And talk about power. The Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone is just spectacular. Here, the Yellowstone River has carved this massive canyon right through layers of ancient volcanic rock. You can literally see the park's fiery history in the colorful canyon walls, chemically altered by heat and water over time. And the waterfalls? Wow. You've got the powerful upper falls, and then the massive, breathtaking drop of the lower falls, over 300 feet. The viewpoints are just incredible. Hey, remember that huge caldera we talked about earlier? Well, check this out. Yellowstone Lake actually sits partly inside it. This isn't just any lake. It's the largest high-elevation lake, we're talking above 7,000 feet, in all of North America. And the geology doesn't stop at the shoreline. Scientists have found active hydrothermal vents on the lake bottom and even these weird underwater chimney-like structures called siliceous spires. There's volcanic action happening right under the water. Now, all this amazing geology, the volcanic landscape, the vast open spaces carved out over millennia, creates the perfect habitat for an unbelievable array of wildlife. Yellowstone is famous for it. If you want the best chances for wildlife spotting, you gotta head to the big, wide-open valleys like Lamar Valley and Hayden Valley. You'll see huge herds of bison, tons of elk, and if you spend some time looking, maybe, just maybe, you'll spot wolves or bears. It's all part of this incredible protected ecosystem shaped by the land itself. Okay, last but definitely not least, Section 5. Explore Yellowstone smart and safe. Knowing the science is awesome, but experiencing this powerful place safely and with respect, that's absolutely crucial. So, are you getting excited to see all this for yourself? Yellowstone is truly unforgettable. But to make the most of your trip, and more importantly, to stay safe, a little planning goes a long way. Let's cover the key things you need to know. First things first, plan ahead. Your trip really starts before you even leave home. Make the official Yellowstone website, nps.gov/yell, your best friend. And definitely download the NPS app. These are the places for up-to-the-minute info on alerts, road closures, what's open, ranger programs, everything. Remember, roads close for winter, usually starting around early November, and they open back up gradually in the spring, usually late April into May. Always expect potential delays from weather or roadwork. Here's a big one. Yellowstone is super popular. You need to book your lodging or campsites way in advance, like months, maybe even a year out. Seriously. And finally, you'll need an entrance pass, either the standard $35 weekly pass per vehicle, or think about getting the America the Beautiful pass if you visit other national parks too. Okay, wildlife safety. This is non-negotiable. Know these distances by heart. For bears and wolves, you need to stay at least 100 yards away. Think of a football field. That's the kind of distance we're talking about. For all other animals, including bison and elk, and listen, bison injure more people than bears do, keep a minimum distance of 25 yards. When you spot wildlife, use the designated pullouts along the road. Never, ever stop in the middle of the road or block traffic. These are wild animals, folks. They're unpredictable, and giving them space is key for everyone's safety. All right, let's hammer home a few more essential safety rules. When you're in the thermal areas, the geyser basins, hot springs, stay on the boardwalks or marked trails. No exceptions. The ground around these features can look solid, but it might be just a thin crust over dangerously hot water or mud. It's incredibly dangerous for you, and walking off trail damages these fragile natural wonders. Also, never ever feed or try to get close to any wildlife. It's bad for them, it's dangerous for you, and it's illegal. And remember, this is bear country. The best practices? Hike with other people. Make noise now and then. Talk, clap, sing, let bears know you're coming. Carry bear spray where you can easily reach it. And, this is critical, know how to use it correctly before you need it. Practice. And always store your food securely so you don't attract bears or other critters. You know, a sight like this, these massive bison just casually walking through a steaming landscape, it really sums up Yellowstone, doesn't it? It's wild, it's powerful, it's constantly changing. It's a powerful reminder of the untamed nature you get to experience here. So there you have it. Yellowstone really is this incredible living laboratory, a place that's always in motion, sometimes even a bit dangerous, and truly a treasure for the whole world. We all have a part to play in protecting it. So go explore it, be filled with wonder, absolutely soak it all in. But always, always do it with respect for the place and with safety as your top priority. So, the question is, what amazing things will you discover on your Yellowstone adventure?